Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar. In this afternoon's webinar, what we're going to be looking at is Dynamics CRM with a particular focus on the travel industry and how Dynamics CRM can be configured to work for the travel industry specifically. So, what we're looking at on the screen here is a user's dashboard. Now, a dashboard is a series of widgets which give the user information that's pertinent to their business and the information that they have access to, so information can be siloed based on the logged in user. Now, like we said, a dashboard is a series of widgets that show the users the information that's important to them. But a dashboard, in all honesty, will probably make more sense once we've looked at other parts of the system, and then we can look at what information is shown here. So I'm going to start off in the sales area in Dynamics CRM. Now, in the sales area, this is where you deal with capturing new business. So we have this broken down into things like you can see dashboards over here, what's new, lists of customers, potential customers, collateral, that kind of information. Now, to start off with some terminology, accounts are companies with whom you have an existing relationship. So that could be companies for whom you manage travel, it could be your tour operators, it could be third parties, it could be your suppliers, it could be any type of company or organisation with which you have a relationship. Contacts are people who are customers. So if we look at contacts, this is a good example of to introduce you to some other aspects of the CRM. If I look at a list of contacts here, I can see we have a list of the contacts that are in our system. Now, contacts are customers. They are people with whom you have an existing relationship. At the moment, I can see a list of them which lists their full name, their email, the company they work for if that's recorded, and the business phone. But I can see other views. So at the moment, I'm looking at my active contacts. That's a list of contacts that are owned by this logged in user. If I want to see all contacts that I have the rights and permissions to view, I can click on active contacts and see a slightly different list. To go into a record, if I access a contact record, we can see here all the information that we have chosen to record for this customer. So we can see their name, their job title, account name, email, all that kind of information. You may also notice that some of these fields are blue, which shows they are clickable. So if I was to click on the email link, what I'll do is open my default email client and populate a new email with this already in the subject line. Saves the user a few clicks. We've also got a social wall here on this record which will show all the interactions, all the posts that are made relating to this contact, all the activities that are made, and again we're going to look at activities later on in the webinar, and any notes that are created. We can also see any recent cases which have been created for this contact, any sales opportunities that have been created for that contact, and they're all contained within one form. If the fields on this form don't suit your particular business needs, they're quickly and easily configurable. You can change fields, you can remove fields, you can add fields. Okay, so that's a contact record. What we also have in the sales area are two other types of records called leads and opportunities. And I'd like to look at leads first of all. A lead could be considered to be someone who is a very early stage of inquiry. For example, someone may have requested a brochure and left their details. Someone may have phoned up for a quote and decided not to go any further. Someone could have left their business card at a conference. So what a lead is a cold inquiry. Leads can then progress to become opportunities, and an opportunity is a slightly warmer lead. So to show you that in action, what I'm going to do is create a new lead record. And when I create a new lead record, we can see across the top of the screen here these chevrons. This is called a business process flow. Now, business process flows come out of the box in CRM. There's already one there for the sales process, but I have slightly modified this so that it gives better understanding for how it can be used in the travel industry. Please do bear in mind this is not a finished article. This is just very quickly put together for demonstration purposes. So the topic of this lead I'm going to put in as inquiry for Mexico, 3 people, July. That's just the name of the record. What I can now do is start filling in these boxes, these chevrons. So the first thing it's asking is this someone who already exists in our system? So I'm going to have a quick look for them. I'm going to see if this particular person exists in our system. So I'm creating it for a Daniel Robertson. There is no Daniel Robertson in our system, so I'm going to take that out. I know it doesn't relate to an existing account. I'm going to put the details in here. So the name on this lead is Daniel Robertson. When does he want to book? Well, I know he wants to book in the next quarter. Again, all these options can be configured to suit your needs. I'm also interested in what his budget is. I'm just going to say it's £3,000. In fact, that's a little low for 3 people for Mexico. Let's say 6,000, and put some details. Go in here. Now, I can now save my record, and notice that the name now changes to the name of the potential customer. Also have a flag on the first chevron, and if I click next stage, you'll notice the flag jumps to the next stage in the process where we can start filling in other details. And you'll notice as I start filling in details in the business process flow, they'll also update it further on down in the record. So when I put flying from, notice this field appears here, but it also appears further down on the screen. When I fill in here and say this person wants to go from Leeds Bradford, notice it's also populated down here. Their earliest departure date, well, the earliest this customer has told me they can go is the 29th of June. The latest departure date they have is 19th of July. They want to go for 14 nights, 2 adults, 1 child, no infants, 1 room. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and complete all of these details, but what I'd like to bring to your attention is the benefits of using this business process flow. First of all, it forces your users into using a specified process that's used within your business. They can't skip stages out. And notice, because this is recorded in the system that this lead is at this particular stage, I can report on that. So I can send a report to our finance team of how many leads we have at the qualify stage, how many leads we have at the departure details stage, how many leads we have going from Leeds Bradford, which are at the trip requirement stage. So because everything is in here, it can be reported on. If you're in a particularly high volume area and at busy times you have to quickly bring on new staff, this business process flow also helps you quickly onboard your new staff with less training than may be required, because they know they simply have to go through and complete these steps. Now, while we're talking, I'm just going to quickly fill this area in and show you what happens when we get to the end of the lead stage. We're now at the end of the lead stage, but I cannot progress any further because this is all the information that's required for a lead. So what I can do now is I either qualify it to say this person or this company is interested in going ahead, or I can disqualify it and give it a reason. Obviously for this demo I'm going to qualify it. Now that it's qualified, notice we're now on to the next stage. We've done the qualification, we've got our departure details, we've got our trip requirements, we've got all the information we need, so we can start filling in some more. You may also see, when we go to the list of leads, that's no longer an open lead, that is now a closed lead, because the system still recognises that a lead was created. So you can silo out your leads which have gone nowhere because they may be disqualified, they may be lost, they may be won. The qualified ones you know have been dealt with. These new ones have not. So that could be used to your sales team to go and pursue these particular customers. And as well as being a lead, if I go to my list of opportunities, here is my open opportunity. So I can still find this and progress it further. So I'm going to just quickly fill this in. Go to the next stage, and I just want to do this to show you quickly what happens when we get to the end. Have I presented that to the customer? Yes. Now I have the choice, put in the confirmed booking date, let's say they booked that today. I've sent the confirmation, and now I can either close that as won or close that as lost. So again, I can see which leads have progressed to opportunity stage, which ones are at what particular stage in the opportunity process, which ones have been lost and which ones have been won. The other thing is when I qualified the lead to become an opportunity, because this contact didn't exist in the system already, the system creates that contact record, and we can see it here. that this was created by me today, and it came from that lead and progressed to that opportunity. So you can see it simplifies a lot of your business processes. I can also see that this contact, when it was created, I can see the opportunity that was created for them. So if Daniel Robertson phones back for another quote later on, I don't need to create a new lead for him. I can create a new lead, I can assign him as a contact, I can create an opportunity for him, and it will appear here. Now, as well as you being able to configure the CRM to show all the information that you want, the CRM can also be integrated with a great deal of other systems. So it can be integrated with your finance systems to generate invoices. It can be integrated with booking software to check availability. You can pull through information on flight times through and include that in a dashboard. So whatever your needs, Dynamics CRM can be used with your existing systems to simplify your processes, increase your efficiency, and hopefully save you a lot of time and therefore money. Okay, so that's the early sales process, but you may also want to include marketing in your activities. So there is a marketing section in CRM as well. Now, marketing can be done around accounts, contacts, leads. What I'm going to do is show you a marketing list and show you how powerful these are. So if I navigate to the marketing area of Dynamics CRM, we can introduce the concept of marketing lists. Now, a marketing list is, as the name suggests, it's a list of potential people that you want to market to. So what I'm going to do is create a new list and show you this in action. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a list of leads who are interested in Greece. Now, there are two types of marketing lists that you can create within Microsoft Dynamics CRM, static lists and dynamic lists. Now, a static list is one where the members of the list can only be added or removed by a user manually. A dynamic list means anyone who no longer meets the criteria will automatically drop off the list, or a newly created record the first choice destination that these people are after equals Greece. And when I say use query, it will find everyone in the system which meets that criteria. So these people have all been automatically added. Now, to show you a static list, I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to say this one is a list of contacts in Wales. This time it's a static list, which I'm targeting at contact. Now, the way I know people are in Wales is by their postcode. So I'm going to say if their postcode begins with CF or the postcode begins with SA or the postcode begins with LL, and I'm going to group them all together. I'm going to group that as OR and hit find. There is every contact in our system whose postcode starts with one of those three diphthongs. I'm going to add them to the marketing list. Now this time, because this is a static list, I can only ever add people manually. I would have to come to my marketing list and hit the plus button, or manage members, or I would have to go to the contact record and manually add them to a marketing list. But if I look at my dynamic one, the leads interested in Greece, let's have a quick look. So if I want to look at the number here, if we'll notice, there is not a lead for someone called Daniel Robertson. So going to Greece, so let's create a new one for him. Let's go and create a new lead. I'm just going to be very quick here. say his first choice destination is Greece. Let's add him in, save that. And now when we go back to our marketing list, here he is. Without any type of intervention, he has joined that marketing list. So as you can see, marketing lists can be used for very powerful reasons. As well as using them for marketing lists, a lot of clients of ours actually use them for reporting purposes, because it's a very quick way to report is to use a dynamic list. Now, from your marketing lists, you can also create a quick campaign. So I can create a quick campaign to send, for example, all my contacts in Wales. As well as using the campaign functionality within CRM itself, you can also configure CRM to work with many bulk email systems such as MailChimp and sign up too. In doing so, what you can do is also track user interactions with your email campaigns through Dynamics CRM. For example, if you were to send out an email to some prospective customers which had a series of links in it, anyone who clicks on the link for, say, Tunisia holidays, that activity would be tracked within CRM, and you can then have a mailing list which is made up of people who have clicked the Tunisia link. So without any type of user interaction, once the system's all set up, you can automatically create your own marketing list. You can see who's clicked on which links within emails. You can see who's forwarded actions to friends and things like that. So you can see interactions with your users very simply within your CRM with a very simple plugin. Now, that covers the sales process and also the marketing process. But also within the travel industry, you have to deal with after sales. So that's done in the service area of CRM. And the out-of-the-box system uses the concept of cases, which some companies would refer to as queries or issues or incidents, that type of thing. Out of the box it's called cases, but as I've said all through this webinar, everything is customizable, so if you don't use the word cases, it can be changed to whatever word you currently use. Now, in the cases area, if I was to create a new case, say I was a customer service agent, and I go in there, we also have a business process flow that can take users through your specified business processes, so finding the customer, finding related cases, doing research on it. Now, what's also very useful is if I go to one which already exists, so here's someone who's querying a visa, what I can also do is make use of articles. So scroll down to the articles area, and I want to find any articles which contain the word visa. Now, I didn't find any there, so I'm going to use the search for function. Search. Here it is. Why do I need a visa to visit Russia? I can view the article here. There's the question. There's the answer. Any additional info can be put here. There's the answer. I can also add this to the case. I can show the article here. And notice there's also an email article, so if I wanted to, I could issue this article straight out to the contact. There it is. Because I'm looking at that contact case, well, the case was created for that contact. There it is. I can type in my subject line, put in some details, and I can attach a file to it. So you can also record all of your customer service interactions with CRM. Because it's recorded, it can be reported on. All of those types of things all come within your CRM. It becomes the central focus of your business operations. Now that we've looked at some information that's in there, let's go back and look at a dashboard. Hopefully this is going to make a little more sense to you now. So looking at the sales pipeline that we have, I can see we have a total of £20,750 worth of potential business which is at the develop stage in the sales process. There's £17,100 worth of business that's at the post stage, and today we don't have anything at the close stage. But what I can also do is look at the graphs that have been created. Now, I quickly created these just before the demonstration. Basically, what a graph is it's an interactive view of information. So, for example, looking at the first one, I can see our sales team made up of Derek, Daniel, Guy and Ewan. I can see that Ewan has a prospective final revenue of £301,000 there. Guy has £402,000. Looking over here, these are the orders that have been put through in the last month. So Ewan has a total of 117 orders, Daniel has 123, Derek has 115. I'm interested in Guy's figures. He's got 151. I want to see a bit more information on that. So what I can do is I can double click and say I want to see, of those 151 orders, I want to see that broken down by booking type, and I want to see it in this type of graph. And I hit go. There we go. I can see he has 4 orders for ski holidays. He has 57 for family holidays. But now I want to see a bit more information. Of those family holidays, I want to see where they're flying from. I want to see that in this type of graph. There we go. I can see he's got 17 going from Gatwick. He's got 2 going from Aberdeen. I want to see some more information on these Aberdeen ones. Let's double click on that. And I want to see who that is broken down by customer. Let's do it in the same type of graph. There we go. There's one for Val Ciolucci and one for Dacia Swaysgood. If I want to go back to my original, simply click on that and it goes back to my original. So what you can see is the graphs are very, very powerful. I have one here which has been created for the sales team. I've also got other dashboards that I've created for my personal sales performance. So again here I can see this is how I've done over the past few months. Quite a quiet month in December. January, as usual in the travel industry, went through the roof for me, tailed off a bit in February, and March I've been off sick, so I don't have many, but I can see all of my different types of activities there. I can also, if I want to look at the OTA dashboard, as well as seeing my graphs and figures here, I also have a list of tasks or activities that I have to create. Activities are basically any type of interaction with a customer. Now that can be an email, it can be a task that's been created for a user, it can be letters going out, it can be phone calls, but activities can be shown in the stream here. If I want to see some more information, I can go in and say, well, I've got a task, I've got to look for further options for this lead here. If I open it up, I can go in, I can do my research, I can access the record by clicking there. Once I've completed my task, I mark it as complete and it drops off my to-do list. Now the tasks, if you remember earlier when we looked at a list of contacts, anytime an activity is created for a contact, it's listed on the activity wall. This wall works very much like a Facebook wall. So if I'm another salesperson or I'm the sales manager for someone who's dealing with this contact, what I can do is I can look at this, and if I hit like, I am now registered, or I am now seen to be following this contact, and I can use that. I can bring up a view of contacts that I'm following. So I can interact with the CRM, I can pull information out, people can put information in, and it becomes the central repository of your business information. And as I've said before, you can also integrate lots of other systems into your CRM, things like your Outlook. Your Outlook can be configured to integrate with your CRM, so users can operate the CRM from within Outlook. They can find their list of contacts, they can find the tasks, they can create leads through their Outlook. You can also keep track of documents, so you can have document generation tools and document management tools in your CRM. You can use Microsoft SharePoint that comes as part of your Office 365 license. You can use Experido. There's lots and lots of third-party systems you can use as well. You can also integrate it with finance and travel systems, with invoicing systems, with availability systems, anything like that. There's also a new feature which isn't going to be covered in today's webinar called social listening, where this can be integrated with your CRM as well. So what you can do in social listening, and there are other videos available for this in social listening, is you can monitor brands, resorts, you can monitor your own brand, your tour operators, and what it'll do is it'll monitor social media and see who the top commentators are, who are the champions for your brand. For example, if you have someone who consistently tweets or post Facebook messages in support of your brand, you can see that. You can interact with them. If you have common critics, you can see that. You can see in social listening as well how the internet population considers your brands. You can see if the sentiment is going up or down. You can interact with users. You can see people's tweets. And if you have proper security rights, you can then, someone tweets, they can be created as a lead in your CRM, and then you can contact them that way. But hopefully you've got a little bit out of this webinar. Obviously we haven't covered the full functionality of Dynamics CRM, but hopefully it's given you enough of an overview to see that, one, how useful it could be in your organisation, and also you've seen that you as an organisation are not limited by the CRM. The CRM can be configured to work your way. If you're interested in any other aspects of Dynamics CRM or any other services we provide, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.